Another day, another AEW announcement, plus a WWE return stuff. So much more happening, guys. We're going to talk about it. Don't forget, we're giving away this championship belt at 100,000 subscribers. Go ahead and click subscribe today. All right, everybody. I want to kick things off talking about WWE in the UK. They have announced their return to the UK, and I'm going to explain why this is actually a big deal, because WWE is launching NXT Europe next year. WWE announced today the live show loop that they're doing in the UK. Birmingham, United Kingdom, Wednesday, April 17th, Cardiff, Wales, Thursday, April 18th, London, UK, Friday, April 19th, Belfast, Northern Ireland. The showdown will begin on Saturday, April 20th, 2024. Obviously, this is a big deal because this is after WrestleMania. Keep in mind, WWE is also doing Bash in Germany. So they're going to be doing that. Bash in Berlin is actually what it's called. And then they're also doing a pay-per-view that's expected in Paris, France next year. Obviously, more European tours, more pay-per-views in Europe, first-time evers. WWE's announcing this. What about WWE NXT UK? Well, it's not going to be WWE NXT UK. It's going to be WWE NXT Europe, and it's an interesting decision. We've talked about this several times on the channel, but I don't think it's a coincidence that WWE is doing this following WrestleMania. I believe that WWE has major plans for their global localization plan, which is bringing performance centers and NXT everywhere around the globe. And I think for WWE, the big thing is obviously waiting to see what Endeavor was going to do. We know that Endeavor is giving them the green light to continue forward with the plan for WWE NXT Europe. So now that they got the green light, WWE's got 2 pay-per-views in Europe next year. Plus, they have the WWE UK tour. It sounds like to me, WWE NXT Europe is something we're going to be hearing about a lot sooner than we thought. Obviously, we had to wait till the merger had passed through. Now the merger has been kicking in. People are kind of, everything's getting a little bit more comfortable now. Obviously, with mergers, things can be dramatic at times, but it seems like WWE pretty much has it all figured out. WWE has already made the conscious decision of Triple H exclusively running creative, and basically that right there in itself is already a win. But if Endeavor is very clear about WWE continuing NXT Europe and actually launching that, I fully expect there to be something by this time, by the time that they start doing their tour next year. So we'll keep you guys in the loop. Obviously, I'm super excited about NXT Europe, but also I want to see WWE really commit to it. And they have been somewhat quiet about it. And then Shawn Michaels obviously has spoken a little bit about it too. Just kind of affirming, reaffirming to everybody that, listen, it's going to happen. It's just within time. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully WWE doesn't give up on that vision. Obviously for the UK fans, I'm happy that you guys get WWE tours and stuff like that too. Because obviously in the United States, WWE is here all the time. But for you guys, I know it's a little bit different because you have to wait. And should be exciting. Guys, do you remember this individual right here? This is Saray. You might remember her in WWE NXT. Basically, there's some talks that she could be coming back to the United States soon. At least according to PW Insider, they reported that Saray, well, she goes by Saray, but in WWE, she was Saray. But for the context of this video, I will say Saray. PW Insider has reported that Saray is currently in negotiations to return to the United States to perform, a source in Japan has claimed. This could see her making a trip back to the United States for some in-ring action. They've said that she's been in negotiations. They were told that, even though she decided to leave WWE after the conclusion of her contract, they've been basically saying that there's these discussions that have happened are not to be believed, that it's going to be happening with WWE. So people should not take this as Saray coming back to WWE. Obviously, anything is possible. I mean, Kairi Sane is coming back to WWE. Triple H is obviously starting to put a focus a little bit more on the women's wrestling, so things could always change. But there is some deep contract negotiations for Saray returning. So what can that mean, right? I think, obviously, you can't rule out AEW, and I don't think you could rule out TNA. Now, in terms of a full-time thing, obviously, if she's going to come back, WWE, AEW, and TNA are all great options. If she's here coming just for like a couple shows and that type of thing, then I would rather just see her in TNA and not AEW, because AEW has been doing a lot of one-offs on their programming, And I think they really just need to focus on their like actual roster who's actually signed. Now, if she signs with AEW, that's a whole different story. What I'm saying is her just appearing for a few episodes at a time. I'd prefer not to see that. At least with TNA, it would feel a lot better because they already have such a great knockouts division. You could do some great matchups and then send her back, right? Like she could go back on her way to however she wants. Obviously, look, she was mishandled in WWE. The gimmick was not a good gimmick. Obviously, that was NXT 2.0. They were trying really, really hard to do some things. Some things worked, some things didn't. It's unfortunate. It's just kind of the way it is. If she does return to WWE, I don't want to see the gimmick that she had in NXT. I would just have WWE let her be herself. And I would have a lot more confidence with Triple H just kind of steering the ship. Obviously, that WWE is a different WWE today, and I don't think it would be an issue. If she were to sign full-time with AEW, I think that could be a really good thing. And if she were to sign full-time with TNA, that would be a really good thing. I can't really see any cons to her signing full-time with any company in America. I only see cons for AEW if they just bring her in for like a 1 or 2 off appearance. But with that being said, it's another day. It's another video talking about Tony Khan's major announcements. He's got an important one. Tony Khan just put out a tweet moments ago that says, tomorrow, November 1st at TBS Network, Wednesday night, AEW Dynamite, I have an important announcement. For many of us, tomorrow is the start of the holiday season. I'll have an important announcement for AEW fans worldwide. Again, tomorrow, November 1st on Wednesday night Dynamite. So what could this be? Tony Khan has the tendency to have a lot of important announcements, and we have seen time and time again that not all of them are important. The reality is Tony Khan's a promoter, and he's doing everything in his power to get people to watch his program, and that's fine. That's all cool, dandy, whatever. If you go back to my content a year ago, or maybe even a year and a half, 2 years ago, I've made it pretty clear, and my stance has never changed. If you're constantly teasing new major announcements or important announcements, and you're not delivering good announcements, people will not care. People will no longer care about your announcements. So Tony Khan's got to be careful with this because people have already made it a major talking point, right? It's the fact that AEW always has a major announcement and then nothing really comes out of it. And we know it could be Max streaming service. We know that they have World's End in December. Fantastic. You know, if they announce the streaming stuff, cool. If they don't announce the streaming stuff and it's just some like random stuff, kayfabe stuff or just whatever, it's like not really important. People won't care for these announcements anymore. And that's just the point that I'm trying to make. It's my stance will never change, but also I think people are starting to realize that like a year and a half ago, there were still major announcements and important announcements. And then as time went on, it literally became a meme on the internet. That's my point. Hopefully it's something good though. And if it's the HBO Max streaming stuff, cool. I'm excited about that. We've been saying that for a while, but I would obviously be very excited about that. If that's not the case, hopefully it's not another tournament. If it's another tournament, I think that's a problem. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below.